The lights of America's Got Talent shine like fire on the stage floor, reflecting the nerves and dreams of two men standing under it, the passing zone. The crowd is loud, the judges are focused, and the duo can feel the pulse of millions watching. But deep inside, there's something stronger than fear, a promise they made to themselves long ago, to keep going, no matter what, and to turn laughter into inspiration. One of them takes a deep breath and whispers to the other, "Let's make them believe in impossible." That one sentence carries the weight of years of late-night rehearsals, of broken juggling pins, of performances no one clapped for. They remember how they once performed in tiny fairs where the only applause came from the wind. And now, they're here, in front of the whole nation. The music starts, and the act begins. The first pin flies through the air like a silver streak. Another follows. Then another. Their hands move faster than thought, perfectly synchronized, trained by endless repetition. The crowd cheers, but no one knows that each throw carries a piece of their story. The fear of failing, the hope of proving something bigger than talent, resilience. Then comes the twist. They call Howie Mandel to the stage. The audience gasps. Even Howie looks shocked. "You're going to juggle me," he says, half laughing. The duo grins. In a way, yes. It's a risk. One mistake could ruin everything, the performance, the moment, their shot at greatness. But that's the beauty of courage. Courage doesn't wait for safety. It acts, even when the heart is pounding and hands are shaking. They begin their wacky, daring sequence. Clubs spin dangerously close to Howie. The crowd laughs, but underneath that laughter is tension, the kind that builds when people witness something extraordinary. Every catch feels like victory, every throw feels like defiance against fear. In that moment, it's not just juggling. It's a message. Life is exactly like this, chaotic, unpredictable, and full of risks. But when you trust your rhythm, you turn chaos into art. When you refuse to stop, the impossible becomes routine. The duo knows it, and they want every dreamer watching to know it too. Because behind every great moment lies a mountain of mistakes. Behind every smile on stage is 100 tears and silence. The music hits its peak. The final trick lands perfectly. The crowd erupts in applause, the judges rise to their feet, and Howie can't stop laughing. It's a celebration, not just of talent, but of perseverance. They proved that fear doesn't stop success, quitting does. And as they take their bow, the lights shimmer over their faces like stars, whispering one truth to everyone watching. No matter how many times life tries to make you drop what you're juggling, keep going. Because one day, your act will not just entertain, it will inspire. Backstage, the roaring applause from the America's Got Talent stage still echoes in their ears. The passing zone walks behind the curtains, hearts pounding, sweat dripping down their faces, but their eyes glowing with something deeper than excitement, fulfillment. They share a silent smile, the kind that only people who've survived years of rejection can understand. Because while the audience just saw a few minutes of perfect performance, the real story began long before the stage lights ever found them. It began in small community halls, dim circus tents, and empty parking lots where they juggled not for fame, but for faith that someday their art would mean something. They remember the countless times people laughed at their dream, not because it was funny, but because it looked impossible. "You really think juggling will take you anywhere?" they were asked, again and again. But they didn't argue, they practiced. Every night, every dawn, in every failure. They dropped pins thousands of times, but every drop taught them precision. Every no from a talent scout taught them patience. Every moment of silence after a failed show taught them humility. And somewhere along that journey, they realized something powerful. Success doesn't come from talent alone, it comes from the stubborn decision to keep trying when no one is watching. As they sit in the green room, sipping water, they can hear the other contestants talking excitedly about fame, followers, and fortune. But the passing zone talks about something else, improvement. "We've been doing this for years," one of them says softly, "but every time we step on stage, we're still learning." That's what makes them different. They don't chase applause, they chase mastery. Because they know applause fades, but mastery stays. They remember the hardest night of their career, when one of them dropped a prop during a live show, and the audience went silent. That silence cut deep, but instead of giving up, they used it as fuel. They went back to the gym the next morning, bruised but determined. "Let's make sure that never happens again," they said. And from that day on, every move, every throw, every laugh became sharper, stronger, more alive. Their story isn't glamorous. It's not about luck or shortcuts. It's about persistence, the kind that grows quietly in the dark when no one is clapping. It's about understanding that real greatness isn't built in a single performance but in 1,000 invisible ones. As they prepare for the results to be announced, they aren't nervous anymore. They know they've already won something bigger than the golden buzzer. They've proven that years of effort never go to waste. And for every dreamer watching from home, their message is clear: don't quit in the quiet seasons. Because those are the moments that shape your greatness. Every small practice, every lonely day, every unnoticed effort, it's all preparing you for the day the world finally sees what you've been building in silence. The lights on the America's Got Talent stage begin to dim, and the echoes of applause slowly fade into a soft hum. The passing zone stands there, still smiling, breathing in the electric energy that fills the air. They look out into the crowd, thousands of faces still glowing with laughter, joy, and something deeper, inspiration. It's not just another performance. It's a moment that touches hearts, that reminds people why they believe in dreams, in courage, and in the magic of trying one more time. The duo exchanges a glance, and without saying a word, they both understand what this means. They didn't just entertain tonight, they left a mark. As they take their final bow, Howie Mandel joins them, laughing and clapping. What began as a wild, hilarious act has turned into a symbol of trust, risk, and unity. The audience had come expecting a comedy act, but they witnessed a life lesson in disguise, that when you dare to step out of your comfort zone, amazing things can happen. The passing zone didn't juggle to show off skill, they juggled to show the power of belief. Because in life, every decision, every risk, is like a juggling act. One mistake can bring everything crashing down. But those who have faith in their rhythm keep the act alive. As they step off the stage, they're met by producers, fans, and other performers, all congratulating them. Cameras flash, microphones hover, and yet the duo stays grounded. One of them says quietly, "It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, again and again." That's the truth they've lived by. They've dropped, failed, and stumbled, but they've never stopped showing up. That's why this moment feels so powerful, not because they've reached a destination, but because they've stayed true to the journey. The passing zone sits down for a brief interview, and when asked what message they want to share with America, one of them smiles and says, "We hope people see that laughter and courage can exist together. We want every dreamer to know that you can be scared and still perform, you can fail and still rise, and you can face chaos and still create beauty." The simplicity of that message cuts through the noise. It's not just about juggling, it's about life. As the night ends, the duo walks out into the cool air outside the studio. The stars above them feel closer than ever. They don't know where this journey will take them next, but they know one thing for sure: they've already won in the ways that matter. They've inspired a nation to keep believing. For every person watching from home, from every small town or big city, their act becomes a symbol, a reminder that joy is powerful, that laughter can heal, and that dreams are worth every drop, every risk, every try. The passing zone didn't just juggle objects, they juggled hearts, and they proved that when passion meets purpose, even chaos can shine.